The tale at 86 kilograms for Final X is as old as time. This story has been told for generations, and it's just the way life is. 95% of great athletes end their careers not in glory, but by being forced out, pushed out by the younger generation. Even the all-time greats have faced this tragic ending. Most never try to fight it because, as I stated before, this is just the way life is. Rarely do you see athletes leave their sport at the top, especially in this heartbreaking game. But it has happened. At Final X, Zahid Valencia will be looking to add yet another legendary name to his already impressive resume, and also looking to end a legendary career at the same time. On the other hand, Kyle Dake has done it all, from world titles to Olympic medals, and he knows a thing or two about putting a stop to a legendary career. But is it now his time to be pushed out of the game forcefully by the young, hungry, returning world champion? Or will Dake instead go against the way of life and father time to turn back the clock to reclaim his spot on the USA Senior World Team? At Final X, we get the amazing opportunity to watch this story play out like a Shakespeare tragedy. This is a closer look at Zahid Valencia versus Kyle Dake.
The goal is make that world team in June at Final X and go win another gold medal for Team USA. So
before Zahid will put the world on notice at the 2025 World Championships by outscoring the field 49-0 and winning his first world title, he failed. To be honest, he actually failed a lot. Even when coming out of Arizona State as a two-time NCAA champion, it seemed like in his freestyle competition that he could not get over the hump. Time and time again, he would be so close to making the senior world team. In 2018, he would lose to Dake at Final X in 2 straight matches. In 2020, he would lose to Bo Nickel at the Olympic team trials. To take it a step further, even when he had success on the world level, he still failed. In 2023, Zahid would make his first senior level world team, and he would finish that year off with a bronze medal. But this would be at 92 kilograms, as he was forced to go up a weight class because he was beaten by Aaron Brooks at that year's US Open at 86 kilograms. The year after he won his bronze medal, he would fail yet again, losing to David Taylor in 2 straight matches, missing out a chance to be on the world team yet again. After this loss to Taylor, the wrestling world would get to see prime Zahid Valencia. He would go 8 months without another loss and win his first world championship. But the most impressive thing about this 8-month run from Zahid is how he was winning the matches. He would have 24 matches during this time period, from January to September. He would post 16 tech falls and score a jaw-dropping 224 points, only giving up 19. During this run, he would win the US Open, where he beat 3 former world team members, with 2 of those world team members being world champions in Trent Hidlay and Kyle Dake. Which leads me to the next point. He would then beat Dake again. At Final X, he would pitch a shutout, taking care of Dake in 2 straight matches. Beating Dake 3 straight times will put Zahid Valencia in elite company, with JV being the last athlete to do so. So what changed after losing at the 2024 US Open? Why did Zahid Valencia sit up in his chair?
And Dake will finally dethrone Jordan Burroughs.
As I stated earlier, Kyle Dake has played a role in pushing greatness out of the spotlight. He would spend the early part of his career chasing after Jordan Burroughs, and at the Olympic team trials, he would finally catch him and dethrone him, keeping him off the 2021 Olympic team for the first time in over a decade. By 2022, Dake would become the standard for Team USA at 74 kilograms. By this time, he would already have 4 world titles under his belt and have an Olympic bronze medal. So when the news broke that he would be moving to Happy Valley and joining the Nittany Lion Wrestling Club, there were a lot of buzz around this move, a lot of questions. With the main question being asked is, why would you leave a place that you've had so much success during your college career and your international career? During this time, the Nittany Lion Wrestling Club made up 40%, that's actually insane, of the senior level freestyle team. So the hate would grow for Penn State as the rich would get richer as more success would follow. Kyle Dake would then make another world team by beating Jason off at Final X that ended in a world silver medal. Then he'd make the Olympic team for the 2nd straight Olympic cycle, beating Jason off yet again in the Olympic team trials finals. This would end in another Olympic bronze. With all the success, it seemed that Kyle Dake had the USA on lock. With Knopf being the 2nd guy in the United States, he had nothing to worry about. But then he would enter the 2025 US Open at 86 kilograms, not 74, not even 79. My theory is that he couldn't beat Mitchell Messenbrink. But that's a whole nother topic in a whole nother video. Going into the US Open, he would still be the favorite and he would get the 1 seed because, I mean, like, come on, that's Kyle Dake. But like we already know, Zahid would shock him in the finals and then again at Final X. So what happened? It couldn't be Father Time, as Kyle Dake doesn't age. He does not get old, remember?
You're getting older, you're not who you used to be.
I've never once said that. You're the guy that said progressively.
You're laying the groundwork. That's okay. That's okay.
So, no,
during the match, it seemed that Zahid was ready for everything, like he had the answers to the test. But this is the part of the Shakespeare tragedy where Act 3 comes into play, as all three of the questions are connected. Why Zahid was able to get over the hump and display a brilliant 8-month run. Why Kyle Dake left New York for Happy Valley. Why Kyle Dake was beaten by Zahid in 3 straight matches, and it seemed that Zahid had the answers for the test. The missing puzzle piece here is Zahid Valencia's coach and Kyle Dake's longtime best friend, David Taylor. Starting with the long history between Dake and Taylor, it goes all the way back when David beat him at Fargo, and I hope that this Fargo title was worth it, because after this, Kyle Dake will be giving David Taylor hell for years on the biggest stages. NCAA finals, check. Olympic team trials, check. World team trials, check. Just win after win after win for Dake. But during the battles that the two would have, a true friendship would be born. They would be training together, hanging outside of the room together. Hell, they have a Flow documentary talking about being rivals and best friends at the same time. So it made a lot of sense for Dake to pack up and move to be a part of the best RTC in the world along with his best friend.
Coach of the Oklahoma State Cowboy Wrestling Program, David Taylor.
But on May the 7th, 2024, everything changed as David Taylor would now become the new head coach for the Oklahoma State Cowboys. After David Taylor beat Zahid Valencia at the World Team Trials in September, he would then call him a month later to join the Cowboys RTC on October the 4th. Since joining David Taylor and company, Zahid has tapped into his prime form, and Kyle Dake just so happened to be in the way. But I don't understand this at all. Did David Taylor not call Kyle Dake to join that RTC? How about an assistant coach? Even if David Taylor offered Kyle Dake a role to be a part of the Oklahoma State staff or RTC, you don't call Zahid Valencia, who was his biggest target at 86 kilograms, to train him. Taylor was about 75% of the reason that he moved from New York, and 2 years later you up and you leave? Then you train someone to beat me? And they do it and you keep training them? Like, what kind of best friend? Okay, whatever. David Taylor will not be able to put the singlet on for his athlete or his former best friend. And when you look at the tail of the tape, only another layer gets added onto the Shakespeare tragedy. Both of the athletes have been competing a lot since the last meeting about a year ago. The results have been up and down for the two. Zahid would take a loss to Parker Kinkaisen, and he would also take another tech fall loss at an overseas tournament. Don't let this fool you into thinking that he won't be ready for Final X, as he looks like he's in world championship form at the Pan Am Championships where he just won gold. Moving on to Kyle Dake, he would take 2 losses at a ranking series tournament, but it is worth mentioning that he does have 2 recent wins over the same Parker Kinkaisen that beat Zahid. So when you pull the stats up and you're looking at the 2 athletes, the first thing that pops out is the 6'1" frame that Zahid Valencia possesses. Along with having the height advantage, I would also give him the speed advantage. This will play a major role whenever Zahid's doing his level changes throughout the match where he's hitting his knees and popping right back up. Kyle Dake is older than Zahid, but he isn't younger. So the experience leans towards Dake, because he doesn't age. So what does Zahid Valencia need to do to ensure that he keeps the story of evolution going? There are 3 key elements that he will need to win within the match to be back on the world team. Number 1, Zahid would need to start fast. In the 3 matches that he won against Dake last freestyle season, he was able to score early and often. In the finals of the US Open, he got a takedown straight into a turn. This will also more than likely put Kyle Dake on the shot clock, as this is exactly what happened in the first match at Final X. As many know, Dake doesn't light up the scoreboard, so putting him in a hole early just boosts the odds for Zahid. Number 2, Zahid will need to make sure that he doesn't run out of gas. This is something that's hindered his career in the past, and this is something that we've seen on multiple occasions. When he faced off against Aaron Brooks in the 2024 Olympic team trials, on the supercard matchup versus Jordan Burroughs, even the first meeting at Final X versus Kyle Dake in 2018, this hasn't been a problem since he's moved down to Stillwater, and if he wants to be back on the world team, he must keep it this way. Number 3, the final key element for Zahid Valencia. If he does start to fade, he cannot take bad shots. In last year's US Open Finals, it appeared that the fatigue started to kick in for Zahid. This led to him taking a bad shot just to hold onto a leg. While this is a great position to waste time in, it's not when you're facing someone who has the best chest wrap or head pinch in the world. No reason to put yourself in Dake's best position. So if Kyle Dake wants to return to his glory days, he must win these small battles within the match, with the first one being you cannot start slow. This is the polar opposite of Zahid, but slow starts have not worked out in his favor. He doesn't need to score a million points, but you can't give up a takedown, then a turn, and also a free shot clock point. As I said, he doesn't score a million points a match, but he can not start slow by hand fighting hard, creating angles, and level changes. This in return will make the second part of the match easier. The next thing Kyle Dake must do is chain everything together. With Zahid being 6'1", it's going to be important to take more than one shot attempt. When he faced off against JB, he had to chain everything together just to get one takedown on Zahid, and Kyle Dake must do the same thing. It may take 3 or 4 shot attempts just to get to his leg and to score a takedown. So he's going to have to do a great job of chaining everything together. Scoring is going to be critical, so push-outs will be just as effective. It is worth pointing out that the last time that these two athletes met, that the freestyle push-out rules were a lot different from the scoring criteria today. Dake pushed him out multiple times last time these two athletes met, but was awarded no points due to the grounded rules. So that could be the difference maker for Kyle Dake. Finally, and most importantly, more baseline defense. Simple head-hands defense, sprawling and getting your leg back will make scoring so much harder for Zahid. The wrestling world is fully aware when Dake has his hands locked around your chest that he's the best in the world. There's no doubt about it. In 2018 at Final X, Dake displayed some unreal defense using this method of defense. This has been his bread and butter, his trump card if you will, over the last decade. Every meeting between the two athletes last freestyle season, when Zahid got on the leg, he knew Dake would go chest wrap immediately. This is the part when I said that he had the answers to the test, because not only did he know what to do next, he knew it was coming. This is the biggest reason Zahid was so successful when facing him. This habit is going to be extremely hard for Kyle Dake to break, especially since he's had so much success using this method of approach. But as the saying goes, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. Or you use your Ivy League education and switch to the basics. This isn't simply about making the world team at 86 kilograms. This is about legacy, evolution, betrayal, redemption, and survival. One athlete is trying to cement one of the greatest runs of his career and fully take ownership of this weight class. The other is trying to prove that greatness doesn't disappear just because the next generation says it should. For Zahid Valencia, this is an opportunity to officially slam the door shut on an era. 3 straight wins over Kyle Dake already shook the wrestling world, but two more changes the story forever. At that point, it's no longer just a hot streak or a great year. It becomes proof that the throne truly belongs to him now. But for Kyle Dake, this is where legends are different. Legends don't go quietly. They don't fade away. Legends force you to take everything from them. And if there's one thing that we've learned over this last decade, is that doubting Kyle Dake has made a lot of people look stupid. Every time the wrestling world writes the end of his story, he somehow, someway finds another chapter, another counter, another chest wrap, another world medal. And maybe that's why this matchup feels like a Shakespeare tragedy, because no matter who wins, someone's story changes forever. Either the young king fully takes over the kingdom, or the old king reminds everyone why he ruled for so long in the first place. At Final X, we find out if Father Time finally caught up with Kyle Dake, or if Zahid has one more final test before the division truly becomes his.